Welcome to Build Your Difference, a podcast designed to help visionary people like you build distinguished brands that inspire and engage a growing audience. Hello, I'm Jim Dennison. We're glad to have you with us for our May edition of our Build Your Difference podcast. We look forward to sharing inspiring and compelling stories of Blue Artist clients with you.
And I'm Desiree Moody. We'll also offer educational resources to help you build a better business and brand. Each podcast includes 3 segments: client news, a feature story, and a segment with one of our producers. Our theme for this month is visual branding. We'll talk about some of the things to consider when determining the look and feel of your brand and how important uniformity and consistency are across all of your channels. Let's jump right into this month's client news segment with an update on author and self-described comic book geek, William Jones. I hear that he's had another busy month. What can you tell us, Jim?
Mr. Jones was once again out and about sharing his brand and knowledge of Black comic book heroes and illustration techniques at 3 events during the month of April. He made his first appearance on April 8th at Amalgam Comics and Coffee House in Philadelphia, where he discussed and signed copies of his book, The Ex-Con, Voodoo Priest, Goddess, and the African King, a social, cultural, and political analysis of 4 Black comic book heroes. Amalgam Comics and Coffee House is located in the Kensington neighborhood of Philly. The store is owned by Ariel Johnson, a proponent of the comic book world becoming more inclusive. She's the first African-American woman to open a comic book store on the East Coast. Philadelphia has continued to show me a lot of support, and I truly appreciate it. To be invited to such a widely recognized bookstore is incredible, Mr. Jones said of the event. Mr. Jones was also a speaker during the Spring 2017 African History and Culture Lecture Series at the Greenbelt branch of the Prince George's County Memorial Library System. He presented Black Superpower, the portrayal of Black people in the worlds of sci-fi, comics, and the supernatural on April 11th. Lastly, Mr. Jones hosted a workshop for aspiring young comic book illustrators at the Olney Library in Olney, Maryland on April 17th. Jones's Basics of Comic Book Art and Illustration workshop taught young people the basic techniques of comic book illustration and how to create comic book characters. One of the best parts of what I do is working with the youth. It's always exciting to work with enthusiastic young people. These events are always so much fun, Mr. Jones said. Mr. Jones frequently speaks on the subjects of the history of Black people in America and the image of Black people in various forms of media, pop culture, and hip-hop music on college campuses and at conferences both nationally and abroad. He's also the founder of Afrofuturism Network, an organization that seeks to support the ever-growing community of Black writers, artists, and thinkers in the realm of sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, and film, and analyzes the contributions and portrayal of Black characters in these mediums. Additionally, Afrofuturism Network examines the role and place of Black people in the past, present, and future, and serves as a hub for Black creativity and thought. You can learn more about William Jones and Afrofuturism Network at www.afrofuturismnet.com.
That's great to hear, Jim. We've covered Mr. Jones's public appearances, but this is the first lecture he's given since we started the new podcast format. One way to keep your brand fresh is to branch out, and that's exactly what Mr. Jones is doing. Thank you for the update, Jim. Let's move along to this month's feature segment and start our discussion on visual branding.
Absolutely, Desiree. You know, we recently came across an incredible article chock full of visual branding tips titled 5 Benefits of Visual Branding That Every Brand Should Know. I'm excited to share it with our podcast audience today. Every brand wants to stand apart from its competitors, build an audience, and connect with them. Visual branding is very helpful in accomplishing this. Number 1, preserving brand identity. As industry landscapes are getting dense with competitors, brands have to deal with an identity crisis. Visual branding can preserve a brand's identity. Brands do their best to improve the perception. They put ads in newspapers and online, write blogs, host events, offer giveaways, etc. But even after doing all these, many of them fail to preserve their identity. Visual branding can change this. Adding visual elements to promotional materials can make the adverts more effective and more powerful. As audiences are exposed to such content coming from a brand, they start to redefine the brand. A brand's identity consists of its vision, its ethos, and its approach. Everything remains the same, only these are presented in a more entertaining way. With visual branding, the recipe, brand identity, remains the same. Only the ingredients change. Visual. Number 2. Infotainment. While non-visual branding is all about providing information, visual branding informs as well as entertains. It captures the essence of infotainment. A case study depicting a brand's journey may bore audiences, but an animation video featuring the same will never do so. In fact, it will uncomplicate things that are apparently complicated. People have a predilection for graphic and multimedia content. Who wants to read an insipid blog post when he can get all the information from an infographic, along with a visual treat? What's the point of wading through a white paper when a video with a 3D character can explain everything? It's an old-school approach to keep information and entertainment separate. Visual branding shows how they add up. The blend, called infotainment, allows brands to tap into it and serve their audiences better content. Number 3. Expressing emotion. Brands are no longer only focused on selling stuff. They're focused on connecting and engaging with their audience as well. The best way to connect and engage is through emotions. Brands need to appear sympathetic to audiences so they can obtain the benefits of empathy marketing. Empathy is an emotion, and a brand can never tickle its audience's emotions with a straight face. It needs to appear humorous, empathetic, or amused. Visual branding can help a brand change its persona. Through rebranding itself with the use of visual content, an otherwise boring brand can project itself as congenial and entertaining. As a result of this, audiences start taking the branded messages more seriously than before. Visual depiction of emotions is more credible than non-visual depiction. A funny face depicts fun. A sad face or bodily gestures depict depression. Letters and words can never express emotions in such an ostensive manner. As brands are becoming overly reliant on visual content to exhibit emotion for audience engagement, visual branding is on a rise. Number 4. Better communication. Lack of clarity at the time of communication is a problem for branding. Visual branding brings clarity in communication. There's no need to scribble down volumes of words when an image can send the message across. Hence, visual branding ensures clear communication and less resources required for communication. By using more and more visual content, brands make it easier for audiences to visualize its personality. Number 5. Brand storytelling. As brands are aiming for personification, they're adopting storytelling as a technique. One reason storytelling can be imported to branding is that we humans are programmed to listen to stories. Storytelling not just facilitates visual branding, it also helps brands don a humane avatar. In an article on Tweak Your Biz, Eric Haskell beautifully explained how brands can appear as humans by telling stories and the role of graphics and multimedia in it. For brands, the benefits of visual storytelling are, number 1, they can quickly capture the growing handheld user base. Mobile users love multimedia content. Brands can lasso them by showing them short animation videos or a series of graphics that tell the story of the brand. Number 2, through visual storytelling, a brand can make significant progress in lead capturing. It can introduce itself to the site visitors by telling stories about it, the hurdles it has crossed so far, the happy clients it has served. The story can be told using audiovisual media elements so audiences like them. Number 3, storytelling allows brands to better harness the power of social media. They can upload original images and infographics on channels like Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook and grab the users there. To put it simply, storytelling is not storytelling unless it's carried out by visual and audiovisual content. Such content lays the stone for visual branding. Visual content promotion completes content marketing, which is now the bottom line of SEO. The best thing about visual content is it's open to experiments. Graphic designers, 3D developers, animation experts are all experimenting with it, with the hope of producing visual content that's a few notches up the existing content. Brands need to keep their eyes open and observe how things are shaping up. This article was written by Adam Frankel and is available on www.businesstocommunity.com.
So to recap, visual branding allows you to preserve your brand's identity, infotain, express emotions, communicate better, and tell your story. It's clear that visual branding goes hand in hand with content marketing, which we discussed during our March podcast. What a fabulous connection. Thank you for sharing that article, Jim. And listeners, don't forget to keep these benefits in mind as you're determining the look and feel of your brand.
Thanks, Desiree. I believe Pierre Walters has more to add to the discussion on visual branding. Let's move on to our producer segment and answer a question about visual branding submitted by a listener. Sandra asks, what if I don't have a business? What if my product is just me? Do I still need to worry about visual branding? To answer this question, let's welcome Pierre to the show.
Thanks, Jim. Hi, Sandra. I'm Pierre. And that is a really powerful question. I'll just go ahead and reiterate it. What if I don't have a business? What if my product is just me? Do I still need to worry about visual branding? Well, the answer to that is a resounding yes. We are in a visual world. There's practically a screen for everything. There is your television, your computer monitor, your laptop, your phone. Even when you go to, I've been to a few McDonald's where you actually place your order on a giant LCD screen. So really, visual branding is everywhere. This is the world that we live in. And if we are going to be effective at communicating who we are, what we stand for, what the mission and the vision and the purpose of our service or product or brand is, then we have to embrace the fact that people are going to be engaging with us through mediums that are visual. A good example of this would be your website. Is your website visual? Or is it just a list? And when someone goes to your website, is it just a list of click these links? It's just a list of links. So you can click my About Me, click for my services and products, and click to get in contact. Or is there some effort put into the visual branding, the visual design, the visual engagement, the feel of your website? People have a much more enjoyable experience engaging with brands that are stimulating, not just intellectually, but visually, audibly, if necessary. The more ways that you can engage with your audience, the more effective your message will be. Really, that is the bottom line. Now, remember, a brand is three things. A brand is your identity. That's who you are, why you are, the reason for your passion, the mission of your business. So the identity, the community. Now, the community is everyone on the planet who has the potential to be your audience or customer. So this is not your geographic community. This is everyone who has access to the internet, who can go to your website and understand the language that it's presented in and have an interest in your product, no matter where they are in the world. That's your community. And one more thing about community. Your community is the group of people who lack what it is that you have to offer. So whatever it is that you are offering, your community is the group of people who don't already have that. They want what you have. Now, identity, community. So what is the third thing? A brand is conversation. And conversation is how you connect your identity to your community. That's how you bring those two things together through conversation strategy. Now, conversation, how you engage, that is not just in terms of the experience of going to your website or engaging with your product, but also the types of products that you have on offer, because the products themselves, the services themselves, those are a mechanism for ongoing engagement and conversation between who you are and who your audience is. And facilitating this is the visual medium of your website, your business cards, the way your products look. Visual branding is important, and we can help. If you don't already have a beautiful custom-built website, a website that you own, all right? Because a lot of these services are offering websites for rent, basically, where you have to pay a monthly fee, and if you stop paying that monthly fee, there goes your website, and there's no end in sight. So it's not rent to own, where after a few months of paying the monthly fee, you actually now own the site, and you can take it with you to another hosting service if you want, or to your own hosting service if you have the capability to do so. So we offer a robust website development service that you actually own. When you pay for your website, it is yours. You can take it with you. You can go to a different provider if you want, to a different hosting company if you want. You own it. You paid for it. It's yours. And also, we can help with incredible visual branding through design, through, for example, business cards, flyers, print design, all sorts of incredible ways that you can engage with your audience through design work. So, if you haven't already, go to our website, check out blue-artists.com, click on services, and take a look at many of our incredible design services and our web development service. We'd love to be able to help you and to make your message engage with your audience, and to do that through visual branding.
Thank you for joining us, Pierre. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. I'm sure your expertise has been invaluable to Sandra and the rest of our audience. If you have a question for one of our producers or a suggestion for a podcast theme, we welcome you to submit them to us via email at producers@blue-artists.com. With that, we'll bring our May edition of Build Your Difference to a close. Remember that each podcast is available 24/7 on our website at www.community.blue-artists.com. Our clients are notified when new podcasts are available, but anyone is welcome to listen as we help you build your difference. Please join us next month as we continue to offer inspiration and expertise to build distinguished brands that inspire and engage your growing audience.
You are building an incredible brand. We're grateful to be your creative agency. Until next time, keep growing, keep striving, and keep building your difference.